What's going on, everyone? Movie Game Guy here with my day 13 of my 2016 horror challenge. And today's question is horror movie with an awesome soundtrack. And like I said, most of these, it's so damn hard for me to choose a certain soundtrack that is, in my opinion, the best. So basically, I went with the one that I listened to the most, and I chose Creepshow 2. I love the soundtrack to this. It's just classic. I have the cassette of it, the music cassette, cassette tape. I'm sure you guys probably know that if you're, in tune with the late 80s, early 90s, those little music tapes, pretty sick. And Creepshow's awesome. Everybody knows about this movie. It's part 2 in that George Romero, Stephen King, collaboration on horror stories based on stuff from the 50s. Like the Gain stuff from, Tales from the Crypt, and probably even Twilight Zone, stuff similar to that. But it's just awesome. This one's obviously directed by Michael Gornick, and you got music by Les Reed and Rick Wakeman. Rick Wakeman's an awesome keyboardist. You guys, if you listen to prog rock, you probably, he sounds familiar because he's pretty big in that genre of music. But there's just some awesome stuff. If you guys haven't seen the movie, I definitely recommend you see the movie. It's an absolute classic, a great sequel to another classic film, Creepshow. And if you guys like that, if you haven't really gotten into the soundtrack, definitely look it up, at least on YouTube. I know they have the full soundtrack because I've listened to it a bunch of times. And you can even go on my page if you want after this video, and I'm sure it's one of my liked videos because I listen to it all the time. It's just a classic. But besides this, there's so many other ones that had such good soundtracks. I'll give you guys just a few of them right now for honorable mentions. And the first one is Cannibal Holocaust. I absolutely love the soundtrack to this. For the content in this film, it's definitely pretty appropriate in the sense of it's very mellow compared to the violence and all the fucked up shit that happens in this. It's very very impacting. And the next one, just a classic, something I grew up on, and I just think the disco beat in it is pretty funny, and it's Friday the 13th Part 3. I really think it really helps make the film. It's really an upbeat tempo for a film that's pretty violent, but it always stuck out to me as a great soundtrack. And this one is basically, the soundtrack's awesome, but I mean, just to see the cameo from the band was cool, and they're one of my favorite bands. If you like punk, it's Idle Hands, and if you like punk, like I was saying before, they're even on the back, Offspring. It's pretty cool. I love how they do some shit in this, and it's very good. They do one of my favorite songs, Beheaded, which is off their first album. It's a pretty brutal song, but pretty cool if you like punk rock, early 90s punk rock at least, or late 80s. And then for the last two, I had to choose Demons 1 and 2. I mean, these soundtracks are classic. I mean, I had to mention these in this. They're just great. Everything from the Smiths, you got a Cult in the second one, and then the first one. I mean, Rick Springfield's okay, but then you got Accept, you got Motley Crue, Scorpions, Billy Idol when he was good. It's cool stuff. I mean, great music. All of them are great. And if you haven't seen any of those films, or only a couple of them, check out all of them. I highly recommend them all. And leave a comment below, guys. Definitely let me know what you guys' favorite horror soundtrack is, or one that really sticks out to you. And thanks for watching, and tune in tomorrow for day 14 of my 2016 horror challenge.